Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is July. It's 2019, and I know I've been hitting you with these a lot lately, but I think that this stuff right here is incredibly important, and it isn't just for the end of times or anything like that. It's for weather warfare. There's a reason that I prep, and I think there's a reason you should too. Look at all the earthquakes and every other wacky thing that's been going on. Look at the storms that they're conjuring up down south. Do you see what I'm saying? Being prepared, having food to feed yourself, your family, and having the ability to have clean water is important. This Patriot Pantry helps me, and it helps you. If it didn't, I wouldn't run it. And that's just a fact. Anybody that's ever met me knows for a fact that I prepare, and I have this stuff in my vehicle, my house, and my office. So you should too. Or don't. But if you do want it, links are in the description. Check this out. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is Monday. I think it's like the 15th or 16th. Or you know what? Who cares? Who cares? We're using the wrong calendar anyway, so anything is completely and totally moot. Makes zero to little difference. It's Monday. How's that? It's the day of the moon. Monday. It's early for Richie from Boston. It's early because I usually take a couple of hours to wake up, but I got up early this morning because I'm going to help an elderly woman. She is in her 90s. She's loosely related to my family. How's that? She's not exactly like my grandmother or anything, but she has been on this channel once before, actually. I'm trying to set this camera up correctly while driving with my knee because that's just how I roll. All right, how's that? There we go. All right. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt from yesterday because it's finally kind of summer. It's 80 degrees and humid as you might read about in Humidity magazine. And I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday because I'm going to get dirty, so who cares? At any rate, why am I telling you I'm going to help an elderly person? Because for whatever reason, for as much as an asshole, a drug addict, a criminal, or just a jerk I ever was, or I was labeled in this particular lifetime, I've always had a soft spot for children, animals, and elderly. Now, the person that said this, his name escapes me, but they said you can always judge a civilization by how they treat their elders. For time immemorial, for all of recorded time, elders were always considered people of wisdom, people that made decisions. You know what I'm saying? You discover a new country, you meet a tribe of people or whatever, you want to meet with the village elder, etc. Well, they've flipped that in our reality. You know what I'm saying? The last 20 years or so, with all the aluminum that's in vaccines, that's in the air, all the fluoride that's in the water, and all the genetically modified food. I mean, this might sound funny, but if you get something in a box like Betty Crocker or like any of those things, read the side of the box. It's not actually food, and there's no law saying it has to be. These people are literally feeding everyone chocolate-flavored chemicals, hamburger helper flavored chemicals. They're using carbon monoxide to keep meat fresh, looking red, looking attractive to people. They're using carbon monoxide. We're literally breathing, eating, and drinking chemicals. It's completely easy to find out on your own because they don't hide it and nobody seems to care. Long story short, the cumulative effect of all this is our elderly, instead of being wise people that, you know, hold oral tradition, meaning they tell you like how things were back when I was a kid, you know, back in the Great War, etc., etc. It's all part of the elite's erasing of history. They're completely and totally changing and erasing history, and the vaccines, the genetically modified food, the fluoride, all this stuff plays an integral part. Do you see what I'm saying? So long story longer, I'm going to help this woman because she's not directly related to me, but she is It's a long story. How about this? I had a video of her one time getting into my truck. I had to get a ladder so she could climb up the ladder and get in my truck because she was stuck in the middle of nowhere in the middle of a northeaster. She had no power, no heat, no nothing, and I was the one that went and got her. I look after elderly people, and I don't know why. I don't know why I have that type of empathy, but long story short, everybody should. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially in this time of year where elderly people that grew up in the Depression, World War II, etc., they're not like us. Everything's on a card, Amazon, bang, bang. They still eat leftovers. They're very reluctant to turn on the air conditioning because we're not the Rockefellers. We can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? I look out for this lady as much as I'm allowed to. But her family basically just leave her by herself in an enormous house. She has been allegedly diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I don't know, it's got to be a decade now. The only problem is every time I see her, she knows exactly who I am. She knows what my dating situation is or isn't. She knows if I just got back from the road, etc. She seems to know what's going on. So I just find it strange. If it was my grandmother, I'd take care of her every day, which is exactly why I live where I live right now, because I was the only one in the family that owned my own company. I didn't have kids, and I was single. I moved in with my grandmother when she was in her very late 80s, and I stayed there with her for 4 years. I wasn't a nursemaid. It wasn't like that. She didn't need that. Physically, she had a tough time getting around, but mentally, she was sharp as a marble. And I asked my Nana everything I could possibly think of. Why do I call you Nana and Grandfather as opposed to, so many other iterations that I could have called her? What was it like, during World War II when you were working on the Manhattan Project and didn't even know it? Did you guys ever see UFOs? What did you think about cars suddenly coming up? How did you feel when you first saw a television? I asked her absolutely everything. And I was right there holding her hand when she left this mortal coil and went to the other side. I was right there. I cried like an absolute baby. It was bad. The cry was kind of cleansing, to tell you the truth, but it was bad. I knew she was going, but long story short, look after the elderly. They're really, really important. And sadly, under the absolute barrage. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It amazes me how people know they're eating chemicals. They know they're drinking fluoride. And I mean, how do you not see the airplanes spraying the skies? Come on, man. Everyone just ignores it. Everyone just ignores it. Somebody is going out of their way on every single solitary front that affects your life every single day to poison you, to disconnect you from what you are. They're actually we live on or in a place, Earth, where the person that created the entire thing, including us and every single solitary thing we see, hear, and feel, they created it with a specific frequency, so everything was in harmony. Do you know what I'm saying? And the people that have all the power, the wealth, the money, the influence, are even changing that. Do you know what I mean? And all of it is to make you believe that you're absolutely nothing. You're just a fluke, man. You're just another brick in the wall. It's no big deal. Don't fall in love. Don't even experience that. Just have sex, hook up, Tinder, etc., etc. Don't worry about old people. They're only good for when they die and you can get their will. FYI, I have zero contact with wills or any of that stuff. You know, when everybody dies on this earth, none of it goes to me, and I don't care. I don't want any of it. I don't want to be wealthy. I just want to be able to do what it is I do, and that's that. Do you know what I'm saying? I've come to grips a long time ago with the fact that so many people aren't going to wake up, and it's a tough pill to swallow, big time. It amazes me that you can show people all these facts, everything, and they just don't care. But that still doesn't completely sour me to humanity. Do you see what I'm saying? And try to not let it happen to you. because it can get incredibly, absolutely, totally frustrating when you're telling everybody the absolute facts and they look at you like you're the stupidest person in the room. It hurts. It's no joke, you know what I mean? But I live with it every day, and I'm sure you do too. So, for whatever reason, we were given this internet thing, this whole platform, YouTube, Twitter, all this crap. We were given it for nefarious reasons, but some of us actually rose above and used it for the right reasons. Do you know what I'm saying? They're taking it away from us, but we had our time. We'll try to extend it as much as we possibly can. And hopefully, whoever you're listening to is telling you stuff like I am. Because this is legit. This is just right off the cuff, man. Driving down the street telling you what I think. There's no script. This isn't about movie stars. This isn't about the latest headline. It ain't about views. I'm just trying to remind you that you and everybody you know, whether they're really young or really old, we're special and we were created in God's image. And there are powers and principalities on this earth right now that are using vast amounts of resources to make you think the exact opposite. And as a matter of fact, they're using vast amounts of resources and influence to shut people like me up so that you won't hear this anymore. And when they do shut people like me up, because they are, and they will, don't forget what we told you. Because the message that's going to come after we're gone, oh, I can't even imagine what it's going to be. But it ain't going to get any better. At any rate, Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.